こんにちは。ゼルダの伝説シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。ゼルダの伝説ブレスオブザワイルド続編の発売時期に関してお知らせが。
Hello everyone, Zelda Master 7339 here. So, some big news just dropped. Breath of the Wild has been delayed once again until 2023. Spring of 2023 to be exact. I'm sure most of you have heard of this, and if you haven't, well, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I assume, honestly, that it'll be in March, about March 3rd, you know, the same as last time. That makes the most sense to me. And, I don't know if March is technically spring. It depends on who you ask, but March is... It makes sense, no? Anyways, that's not really the interesting thing here. The interesting thing is that we got a little bit of more footage of Breath of the Wild 2 in action, and really I think some of the parts were just rehashes of the last trailer, but we did get one in particular, one really cool shot I'm going to bring up on screen right now. You've probably already seen it if you've watched the video, or you know, just in the reruns I'm putting on screen right now. I don't know how my editor is going to do this. But yes, so if we look at the footage here, we see Link with the Master Sword and his gnarly hand that I think is really cool, honestly. And then he picks it up and it's all messed up. It looks like it's been damaged by something, perhaps the Ganondorf slash demise thing that was going on in the last trailer. I'll pull that up now. Yeah, it's very interesting to think about what's happening here. I'm going to pause on this thing and try to get some of my ideas out for it for a little while. Perhaps seeing Link's hair, it's a bit longer than last time. Perhaps this is the Link of the past, you know. Link to the Past has always been, you know, a favorite of Aonuma's, if I remember correctly. And A Link Between Worlds is fairly recent in Zelda history, so it'll be very cool to see if perhaps this is a different Link, and maybe the overworld Link will be the regular Link we know from Breath of the Wild, and this other one will be one from the past. Other people have had this theory before. And now if we look at the sword, it's obviously been damaged by some sort of miasma, probably demise, or Ganondorf, or they're the same person now. So I wonder how, if the entire game will perhaps be about purging the Master Sword and bringing it back to its former glory, much like Skyward Sword. And so I'm going to go into another thing here. As you can see, when Link picks up the sword, the Master Sword, it's glowing a little bit, much like it did in Skyward Sword when Fi was calling. And perhaps that's what's happening here, is that Fi is calling you, the new hero, or the old hero, depending, and asking for help. So perhaps it is true this is what's happening, is that Fi is going to be back in this game. I know this is a controversial companion, but I enjoyed Fi in my time in Skyward Sword. Some odd 10 years ago now, actually. It would have been nice, I think, if this does incorporate Fi, to kind of have had that for the 10th anniversary of Fi, but I guess this is something that's not going to happen. But it's fine, If we keep on looking, we can see the toga. There's a bunch of markings on Link's arm, probably maybe from the spirit, or maybe this is from the past, or maybe their minds, the timelines have merged. But I think what it might be is aliens. So hear me out here. Perhaps, the aliens from Majora's Mask, perhaps they have come down and taken Link and replaced his arm with alien technology, right? Maybe the aliens are part of an advanced race of the Twilight from Twilight Princess. If this is the truth, then it'll be a great way to bring back all the things from all the old Zelda games, a link between worlds and time, and aliens from Majora's Mask, which are obviously the most important piece of the puzzle. It is a great many things could happen from this, and I'm so excited to see perhaps this game the reason it's taking so long is because it will be the length of 3 games, right? So, Aonuma, very cheekily, I might add, in this little teaser, he said that the land and the sky were only part of what we were going to be able to travel. So if the whole time travel thing is part of it, then perhaps that's what he's saying. We'll travel between time and the land and the sky, right? And then you go to land and you'll be in regular time, and then you go back up and you'll be the hero from the olden times, right? But maybe we'll be able to look over space. No, that makes a lot of sense, I think. Space, is where the aliens are from Majora's Mask. Perhaps a lot of things has been going on in space, in the Zelda space. Perhaps this is our foray into a more modernized Zelda, a more sci-fi-esque Zelda, Perhaps we can create a whole universe around it. If you remember correctly, in the Smash Bros. Universe, everything is connected. It's just worlds, right? So perhaps we can interact with some of Nintendo's other franchises. Perhaps Link will be able to race in F-Zero. That's how we bring that character back. That world back. Maybe we'll be able to pilot spaceships and fight against Fox and Falco and Wolf. I think perhaps this is why it's taking so long. Perhaps it'll keep on going more and more, and this will be truly the game of not the decade, but the entire universe. Perhaps this is going to be the best thing of all time. Mario Kart 9 may be in this game, and we just don't know it yet. There's no other reason it could take so long. If we go back a little bit before, where you can see Link appearing in what appears to be a portal, and I think that maybe this isn't just any random Zelda portal, but a space-time portal to go through different times, and maybe we will fight against not only Ganondorf, but the old Ganondorfs, the Ganondorfs from Skyward... Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, maybe all of them will come together in sort of an Avengers Endgame style battle, and we'll fight with our past Links and our future Links and our friends and foes, and maybe this is where they can bring in Linkle for us all to play, and we can play as Zelda too in a co-op. I think this is the co-op is shown by, as you can see, Link's long hair is obviously because they changed the model to be both Link and Zelda. So we can play co-op with Link and Zelda on the same Switch. And I also think that perhaps they will give us all people who buy Breath of the Wild 2 new, more powerful Switches, so that you can play an MMO perhaps, where you play as Links or Zeldas or other Linkles, or maybe even Agatha, much like Hyrule Warriors, and playing an MMO where you are fighting against different players and making different factions and such. I think this is the only way that Nintendo can go from now on, to make it bigger and better. Anyways, I think this is very obvious, all of this, by the way, from the still image. You can see that the technology in the Master Sword looks much like technology from Star Fox, right? You can see that the toga is reminiscent of Kid Icarus, right? So I think all these worlds, and this is why in Smash Bros. Ultimate all the worlds were connected, is because all these worlds are connected in the same universe, and this is what we will see when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. I think it's very exciting stuff, and I cannot wait to see more trailers and for all my theories to come true and none of them to be wrong. Anyways, this is probably enough time for me to get all the ad revenue I need, so bye.